everyone, welcome back. I have been scrapping all day. I did an online crop and I was using the Mercy Tiara kits. And as you can see, I cut some circles out and this was the layout. Love this layout. But anyway, I was looking at these thinking I could do something with this. I really like the way that this lays on top of this right here. And then it would go ahead and make a focal point. You can put a title down here. I love it. So I'm going to try and audition some papers to go behind it and see where we end up. So follow me along and let's see where this thing goes.
So I decided to start auditioning papers that were already in the kit. I love this paper, but it was too boring. This one could have worked, but I didn't love it. It looked kind of like the sun, not what I was going for. This one also could have worked, but the stars made it look like the moon. This one I love, but it was too similar, too busy. I feel like Goldilocks here. This one could have worked, but it wasn't wowing me. This one was wowing me, but I didn't love the pattern with it. Let's try this side. Whoa, too busy. So we'll keep these two, see what's on the back. Also, this yellow could have worked, but I'm just not a polka dot person. It wasn't the vibe I was looking for this. So we'll keep those off to the side as maybes. I really like this pink and it could definitely work. But I decided I didn't like it, apparently. So I stepped away and came back because I wasn't finding anything I loved. And then I decided to look at the back of this one and I was like, oh, I really, really like this. So these are the backs, the B-sides of both of those papers that I had before. And here I am positioning it. And I am intentionally pushing that second circle, the smaller, like outliney one, so that it is closer to one side of the circle than the other. I think it kind of balances it since the circle's in the bottom right-hand corner. So here I am auditioning again, some of these same papers. I kind of have to start the process all over again now that I've got different papers I'm working with. So that one worked. I didn't love it. Tried the first side again, but I really like the way the floral plays against the stripes here. And I was like, well, let's just try a white. And the white ended up winning. I think that it's the best choice from what I was working with. Now here I am seeing about how big of a square I need. I decided I could have just, glued it straight down to the 12 by 12 pieces of paper, but that's very thick white paper, and so I didn't want to add any more bulk than I needed to. So I trimmed it down, and I'm going to stick it on top of, or behind the paper here. And then I pulled in a scrap piece of paper so that I could run some tape dots, glue dots along the back of this thing without getting it all over everything. Even though I kind of still did just a little bit in that piece of paper. The scrap piece of paper ended up sticking to things all day long. But there we are. These are the pictures I decided to use, and I love the way the floral of this dress that I'm wearing plays against a little bit of floral in that second piece, circle piece there. So I decided where I wanted them to sit, and I do this a lot. I'll tape them together on the front and then tape them together on the back so that they stay the way I want them to. I get kind of fussy about that. So here I am auditioning some layers to put behind it. There's a lot going on. I didn't want a ton of layers, but I really do like the way this pink makes everything pop. I did need at least one layer because of the white border on my photos there and the white background. You wouldn't have seen them and it would have looked a little odd. So I decided to add this pink, and then I pulled in a couple of other papers. I used the corner here. I like that blue because it is the B-side of that floral. So it coordinates really well and it just adds a little bit of a pop here. And then I decided that's enough layers. We don't need to go typical Lise crazy layering. For now, that's enough. I did pull these in. I'd used them on a previous layout. I'm putting that one there thinking maybe I need another layer around that corner and that pink might work. And auditioning a few others to see if they work. So here I am cutting that out. So I just have a corner to work with, but I decided the pink is too similar and I don't love it there or there. So we're just going to give up on it. But I do like that nothing but blue skies, and I do end up using that. So now I need to fill in that white space. And my first thought was florals in the dress, florals in that little circle. And so let's fill this with florals. And so I bring in this acetate pack here because I've loved using it so far. And I'm throwing some florals in and seeing if any of the words work. As you can see, I just tossed them on there. And here are the non-acetate florals that I'm throwing back there, trying. And as I'm doing this, I'm starting to think, whoa, this is getting really busy. Is this the look I'm really wanting. And I kept this in here so you could see, because it goes through several iterations. I pulled all the words off just to see if that was what was distracting me. I decided, no, it's still too busy. So I'm like, what else are we going to fill it with? Maybe the words. So I thought maybe I could just do a jumble of all these words, summary words to throw in there in the background. And that's what I'm trying to kind of arrange here. But it's just not quite, I love the way that that fits together. And I thought maybe I could try some other words from the set, from the sticker set, from the puffy stickers. But here I am like, it's just not right, I don't think. So I got distracted and I was like, oh, maybe another layer with this little like film. I don't know what to call those. This little frame. And I really like it there. So I cut it and I do layer it back there. I like the little bit of height it adds there. And then I stick the other section of it there. I like to repeat things throughout. It makes them look more intentional. And I throw that little puffy sticker umbrella in there to fill that gap. And then here I pulled off this sticker, and it's ticket shaped, but the ticket isn't punched out. So I brought my We Are Memory Keepers tool in to actually punch the ticket shape. That's a bugaboo of mine. I really don't like it when there's that white circle. So I layer that right there. I'm loving how these layers are, subtle and shaping up right now, cleaning up a little bit. So here I'm going to do the title, and I knew that I wanted the title to follow around the circle. That was one thing I knew from the very beginning, and I'm using these letters that came with the kit, and I'm just kind of placing them. I just kind of started somewhere and figured if it didn't fit, then I would just scoot everything down. I realize here that this set has capitals, so I am going to use them. Now, as you watch me put this title down, I'm going to go ahead and apologize for my voice. This is why it's taken so long to get to this next video for you guys. I apologize. But what with sports starting and my son's birthday was last week, and then I got sick, as you can hear, and my voice has been terrible. I don't know what it is, no fever, but everybody but my husband's gotten it so far, and I still don't sound great. So here I am. You can see I already know that what I want to put in there is not going to fit, so I just went ahead and moved everything down. And I'm intentionally leaving the dots off of the eyes because I knew I might need to scoot things around, and that's annoying to mess with. But here we go. I forgot what I was talking about. Still a little sick. Oh, that's what I was talking about. I kind of laugh because every time I get sick like this, I get what I call my Phoebe voice. If you can't tell already, I'm a big Friends fan. And every time I get sick and it lowers my voice like this, I feel like Phoebe when she gets sick, and she has that sexy voice and she loves it. And so that's where I am right now. You get my sultry, sick Phoebe voice. So here I am throwing these in here. We're going to start trying to embellish this. I have forgotten the dots on my eyes, even though this is the final placement for the title. I will add them in later, I promise, for those of you who are yelling at your screen right now. So this long title was not long enough for me. I like my really long titles. So I decided to use these beautiful teeny tiny letter stickers from Pink Fresh Studio to add in. I'm in a sunshine state of mind here, and I cannot ignore that my apostrophe is missing. So I think this is just the inside of a letter, the inside of the A that I'm fussing with. I could have just drawn it on. I totally could have, but why do that when we can make things more difficult on ourselves, right? So let's get back to embellishing here. I like that Nothing But Blue Skies there because it kind of covers up some of those awkward corners. I love this puffy sticker, so I decided to just go ahead and glue it down. I'm trying to get better about that because I'm bad to put things down and not glue them down, and they'll fuss and fuss and fuss. So here I am. I'm sticking on the July and August stickers from this cardstock sticker set because we did go to the beach at the very end of July, beginning of August, so I felt they fit. I loved the color they added. Now here I am adding a few florals to bring in the floral from the puffy sticker set. I really like those little touches. Now what I'm doing? I'm looking at this and I'm realizing that white is bothering me. I do need to fill it in. So this ring here is where I've stamped all of my inks, and I'm trying to find an ink that I have that kind of matches the blue in that floral paper, but nothing was really working. So here, this is the Prima Marketing Currents watercolor set, I believe, and I pulled it out because it has a ton of blues, but none of the blues quite worked. So this is their Woodland set, and I did find a blue in there that worked. So I'm going to I'm just using that blue straight out. I'm not going to mix it. I find that mixing things can make it difficult if they don't all work. So I did add a lot of water because I wanted it to be light, but I added too much water. So here I am remixing to make it a little bit darker. I am spraying directly on the page. This cardstock is not watercolor cardstock, so I have to be careful about adding too much liquid, but it's pretty thick, so it holds it pretty well. Now here, I try and peel up that sticker so I can go underneath it. It's not working, so I'm just very carefully filling in with my brush. Adding some splatters for texture. I love my splatters. It had to be very careful. I didn't actually cover anything up, so I wanted to keep the splatters localized there. Put that away. So now I'm feeling much better about that now that we have some blue in there, and I think it kind of goes with the theme. We have the blue sky in that one picture, sunshine state of mind. I'm really happy with that. Drying the back. Very important to dry the back because it kind of minimizes the warping. Now I need to attach this Summer Nights. It's acetate, and so what I have there, I showed you very briefly, is a very thick piece of foam. It came with some set, I don't know, but I keep it for this very reason. So Tracy from Mercy Tiara showed me this trick, and basically you put that thick foam behind and you open up your stapler. So you're stapling, but it does not like bend the butts of the staples back. So that's what you see me doing here. And then I just cover them with a bit of washi tape to make sure that they don't snag on anything or scratch anything. And ta-da! I love the way that looks, and I use that trick all the time. So back to embellishing. I am trying to use what I can from this kit. So I decided to throw a little drink in there because in my one picture I do have a adult beverage. But then I decide, I don't love it because it's not really standing out. Oh, here are my dots on my eyes. I told you I didn't forget them. I noticed and I had to do it while I had realized. So don't like that one. Let's try this bottle. Maybe that works better. I do like the green better, but I don't like the shape. So here I am pulling out this set briefly. And then I got distracted by the cardstock stickers. I love this sticker. I have tried to use it, I think, on every single layout, and it just hasn't worked so far. It's made its way to my stash, and I will use it eventually because I do love it. Now back to this die cut ephemera pack from Simple Stories. I like this pink better because it kind of balances the pink from those 7 and 8 tickets on the other side. I try a lot from this set and nothing quite works right other than that first little pink beverage. This set didn't speak to me. It's very retro, which I think I've told you guys is not my vibe. And Simple Stories, while I love their stuff, they tend to have a more creamy background. And this one has my layout is very bright white with that pink fresh yellow and white stripe and then the white that I put in the background. So it just wasn't quite working. So I knew it needed something else. I grabbed this sequin pack that came with the set, and I'm doing what Tracy recommends, just dropping it straight on there because you get a more natural looking sequins, though you do see I am messing with it when I think there are too many clustered. I do glue it off camera, so you don't have to sit and watch me do that, but we're just about done with this, and I will show you some close-ups soon. So I am trying to remember to do this. I hope you guys like the slow close-ups. So you can see some of the details in the layout there, but hopefully I will be back with more videos soon now that I'm feeling better and my voice is starting to get back to normal, and hopefully I won't have to serenade you with Sexy Smelly Cat anymore. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day. Bye.